This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
This month, here we are in November 2024. Now, I want to remind you once again that when we do a November monthly market update, we're using October data, number one. Number two, it's only single-family homes because that's predominantly where I work, is single-family homes.
So we're a month behind.
Yes, we're always a month behind on this, okay? I can't tell you what happened in November because it's still November.
Right.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, single-family homes. So currently available, we have 6,014 single-family homes. We have 2,190 under contract, and we've sold 1,797 in the last 30 days, which leaves us a little over 3 months worth of inventory available. The average days on market right now is 38, and our median sales price this month is $470,000. Now, compared to last month, the big difference is we have a little more inventory, slightly fewer under contract, a couple hundred fewer, well, 150 fewer sold in the last 30 days, and our price has come down. Our median price for single-family homes has come down a little over $10,000. It was a little over $480 last month. Now, last year at this time, our median sale price was $449. And our available inventory was only 4,500, so it was a lot less inventory, almost 1,500 less. Well, 1,500 less, almost exactly 1,500 less. And so that was the big difference year over year. So let's talk about what else we have here. Let's take a look at our other charts. This is our stack chart. On the stack chart, this tells us our volume, the number of homes sold in every month, and it goes back to the year 2000. And you can see that we're just slightly ahead of last year. Where we are now, and last year was one of the worst years in terms of volume that we've had since 2007, but we're slightly ahead of that this year. So it's when I say worse, I'm not talking about prices. I'm just talking about volume. Okay, and a volume can affect pricing. It depends on demand, and demand hasn't really gone up as much. So the pricings remain, I would say, pretty stable.
And volume equals closings.
Closings, exactly. The next one we have here is our median sale price. I like to look at this over a period of time. This goes back to October of 22. Back then it was 440. They have us at 475 right now. And again, it's slightly different in terms of what they're dealing with, but that's where they have us now. So, but you can see it's a fairly flat line.
Yeah.
I mean, over a period of a couple of years, you're talking about a pretty flat line, slightly up, but not not darting in any one direction, high or low. Kind of in the middle there. Luxury sales, this is an interesting data point. And Tom, we've debated about this. Rick and I have talked about this, and we're not sure that $1 million is luxury anymore. I'm gonna say, and I think there's a new chart, and maybe I have. I think I might have it. Let me see. Did I have it? Yes, I did. So they created a new chart, 3 million and over.
I would agree with that.
Right?
I would agree with that.
Right, because there's houses, just regular tract homes now that are over $1 million.
That are commanding that,
Yeah. So when we look at this, this previous one, we're talking about over $1 million. We're going to break the record over $1 million. But it does, to me, look, if you're spending $1 million on a house, God bless you, it's a luxury. Yeah, it's a luxury home. And I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying for the sake of looking comparative.
Isn't it crazy though?
It is kind of crazy, right, Sin?
Yeah, it's crazy.
But look back at 2014. We did, we almost did not quite 300 homes that whole year. And we did over 300 homes in the first 3 months of this year. Well over that. 400 homes.
Over $1 million.
Over $1 million. Now, when we look at over 3 million, you go back to 2014. There was 20 of them.
Mm-hmm.
This year, we're going to break the record on that as well, of course. And so again, the median price continues to go up. Then the threshold point has to change a little bit, doesn't it?
Yes.
I think that we need to see it that way.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like my house, 5 years ago, paid $350.
Right.
Now, Zillow telling me it's worth $700.
Right.
So
I know, it's crazy.
It's not worth $700.
Right. Zillow doesn't always get it right, but
it's the market.
But and the great thing about Zillow or his estimate is not so much the actual number itself, but you can watch the trend.
Yes.
Wow.
Is it going up? Is it going down? They get that kind of right, but they don't get the actual number right.
But it can kind of give people an idea.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, is my house going up or is it going down? Is it where's it headed? And that's okay. That's 3 million over. Okay, so this is supply versus demand, and what you're seeing is that the demand has remained fairly stable since 22, but it's kind of bumping up and down. That's a seasonal adjustment, and it got weird, during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Here it got weird during the pandemic and so forth. But you can see that the supply and demand. Look, this is what affects prices. It's supply. It's the laws of
So we've got more supply than demand
supply.
right now.
A supply is increasing and demand is, so that dictates that pricing should go down a little. You increase supply, demand remains the same or drops a little bit. That means pricing should go down a bit. This is the chart that I make. This is the one that I like to make every month. This is my little line graph that shows you the number of homes sold, the available homes, and the median sale price. First, I'll look at the median. Look at that number. It's pretty flat. That median price does not change a whole lot. It's, again, back to 448. I've got it at 470 right now. But with the orange one is the number of homes sold, and that's been fairly stable too. It got down kind of low beginning of last year. And then we look at the available inventory, and you can see that has crept up quite a bit. That's where we've seen the big changes in inventory. We're starting to see that creep up.
Well, why do you think that is from the increase in inventory?
I think there's a couple things affecting that. Number one is I think that some people who've been waiting for interest rates to drop have come to the realization they ain't going to see 3% anymore.
Right.
Right.
And you shouldn't wait for the market to adjust if your family, you just had twins, and you need a bigger house and you're in a 3-bedroom home. You know what? You need to get a bigger house.
Right.
Sometimes you have to.
If you can afford it.
Well, yeah, of course.
I
yeah.
know, it's just-
But it's tough. It's tough giving up that 3%.
Gosh, it's
Interest
so
rate.
tough.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of people are not giving it up.
Look, I can appreciate it. I'm in the same boat. I'm there too. I mean, I'm there. I was like, I kind of like to be in a smaller home than I'm in
Really?
now. Well, Helene would never let me.
Yeah.
But I'd like to be in a smaller home. But that interest rate keeps me where I am. So I understand. I can appreciate it. But sometimes, we've talked about this before. I don't want the market to dictate what's happening in your personal life because you're waiting for the
Right.
market to change.
Right.
You're going to miss out on things.
Well, because we just saw that even as the medium house price still is increasing
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
So you're still benefiting.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're waiting for an interest rates, I'm not sure you're going to get what you want.